Deep within a forgotten forest, shrouded in an eternal twilight beneath a canopy of ancient trees, lay a secret. It was a secret tinged with tragedy and whispered on the wind. The secret was an abandoned carnival. Its once vibrant colours were now faded and peeling like scabs on old wounds. The carousel stood frozen, its horses caught mid-gallop, their painted eyes staring blankly. The Ferris wheel groaned in the breeze, a rusted giant mourning its lost glory. Booths that once housed laughter and the tantalising aroma of popcorn now creaked emptily. The air hung heavy with the scent of decay and the faintest hint of cotton candy, a phantom sweetness that only served to underscore the unsettling silence of the place. It was a place time had forgotten, and where perhaps it was better left undisturbed. The carnival had once been a beacon of joy, a place where laughter echoed through the trees and the scent of popcorn and cotton candy filled the air. But that was a lifetime ago. Now the only laughter was the mocking cry of crows, and the only sweetness was the cloying scent of decay. The carnival was a graveyard of forgotten dreams, a monument to a tragedy that had unfolded decades ago. It was a place where shadows danced and whispered, where the past refused to die. It was, in every sense of the word, haunted. The year was 1928. The roaring 20s were in full swing, and the carnival was alive with the sounds of laughter and music. But on one fateful night, the music stopped. A storm raged, fierce and sudden, tearing through the carnival grounds with the fury of a vengeful spirit. The Ferris wheel, overloaded with screaming passengers, buckled under the onslaught. It collapsed, sending its occupants plummeting to their doom. The screams were swallowed by the wind, the laughter choked by fear. The carnival, once a place of joy, became a scene of unimaginable horror. The carnival never recovered from that night. The laughter died, replaced by an unsettling silence. The bright lights flickered and went out, leaving only shadows and whispers. The carnival was abandoned, left to rot under the watchful gaze of the ancient forest. Over the years, stories of the carnival's tragic past began to surface. Locals whispered of a curse, of restless spirits seeking solace or perhaps revenge. The carnival became a local legend, a place to avoid, a stark reminder that even in the brightest of times, darkness can lurk just around the corner. The carnival stood as a grim testament to the fleeting nature of joy and the enduring power of tragedy. It was a place where the veil between the living and the dead seemed perilously thin, where the echoes of laughter mingled with the whispers of the departed. Decades later, the abandoned carnival was nothing more than a local legend, a campfire story told to frighten children. But for a group of teenagers on a camping trip, the legend was about to become all too real. The group, 4 friends named Jake, Emily, Ben and Chloe, had stumbled upon a faded map while rummaging through an antique shop a few weeks earlier. The map, yellowed with age and smelling faintly of mildew, depicted a winding path leading to a place marked simply as Wonderland. Intrigued, they decided to turn their camping trip into a treasure hunt. What they didn't know was that their search for adventure was leading them straight to the heart of the forgotten carnival. As the sun began to set, casting long and eerie shadows through the trees, they stumbled upon a clearing. There, in the fading light, stood the carnival, just as it had been left all those years ago. The sight sent shivers down their spines. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy that made the hairs on their arms stand on end.
This is creepy. Maybe we should just go.
But her words were drowned out by Jake's excitement. He was already striding towards the rusted gates of the carnival, his eyes shining with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. The rusted gates groaned open, as if warning them to turn back. But the teenagers Their youthful curiosity outweighing their apprehension stepped inside. The air inside the carnival was different, colder, stiller, and heavy with the weight of forgotten memories. They explored the dilapidated booths, their laughter echoing unnaturally in the silence. They spun the rusted wheels of fortune, their clicks seeming to reverberate through the empty grounds. They peered into distorted mirrors in the funhouse, their reflections seeming to leer back at them with a malice they couldn't quite place. As dusk deepened into night, the shadows seemed to lengthen, reaching out like grasping claws. The teenagers felt a presence, unseen but palpable, watching them from the shadows. The temperature dropped, and a cold wind swept through the carnival, carrying with it the faintest hint of laughter. But it wasn't the laughter of children. It was a hollow, chilling sound, devoid of joy. They found an old leather-bound journal tucked beneath a pile of debris in what was once the ticket booth. Its pages, brittle with age, contained the frantic ramblings of a man who claimed to be haunted by the spirits of the carnival's victims. He wrote of shadows that moved in the periphery, of voices that whispered his name, and of an overwhelming sense of dread that clung to him like a shroud. The teenagers exchanged uneasy glances. The carnival was no longer just a creepy, abandoned place. It was a place of tangible fear, a place where the past refused to stay buried.